So when is North Point going to reopen for business as usual on Sundays?
Wow, talk about asking the toughest question first. To be honest, we really don't have an answer yet. We just know that we're going to wait. We're going to listen to the authorities and then make the best possible decision for North Point. It's pretty obvious there are other churches out there that seem to be in a hurry to open up, and that is their business. But we just feel more comfortable going a little bit slower. So we're going to keep our doors closed through the end of May and wait for health officials to declare we have entered into phase 2 of the reopening process. Until then, we're going to constantly evaluate so that we can do what is in everybody's best interest, young and old. Anybody that would come through our doors at North Point, we want to give them the very best that we have. And so for now, we're just going to continue to wait, and we ask you to be patient.
When we get back together, how do we practice social distancing but still have it feel like the old North Point?
There are really two main reasons why we are not currently reopening. The first is a health and safety issue. We want to be confident that when our doors are opened, it will be safe for everyone, all the way down to our nursery, all the way up to older people. And we just want everybody to feel comfortable when they come here. But for us, the second reason why we are not reopening is really just as important as the first. Whenever we reopen, we want it to feel like North Point. I think people who are part of our body understand exactly what I am saying. Going forward, we're really not exactly sure what that is going to mean or how we're going to do that. But as I think about it, putting out 25 chairs in our building, making sure they are each 6 feet apart, a 6-foot radius around each one, having online sign-ups to make sure that we have enough services and enough spaces for people to come back, and doing it on a first-come, first-served basis, passing out masks at the door for people to put on, and having bathroom monitors. Well, any way that I look at that, and those that we have been in conversation, that doesn't exactly feel like who we are. Not that we couldn't do it, because we certainly could. And if that's the long-term answer for church life here in our state going forward, then by all means, that's what we will do, and we will do it the very best we can. But if it's just a short-term answer and something that has to be endured for a little while, we think we would rather just wait this out just a little bit longer to see if what we do here on Sundays and in other days we are open can feel a whole lot more like who we are.
Will we keep live streaming our service after we go back to meeting in person?
Definitely. We think it's pretty awesome to be able to connect with new and old people when they can't be here in person. I mean, it is really an amazing thing. And to be honest, I'm kind of a celebrity now. At least that's what my granddaughter thinks of me. So I got to roll with it. And so we're going to keep doing the online thing into the future, enjoying it, being creative with it, and trying our best to connect with anybody that cares to hear about Jesus through the ministry of North Point Christian Church. And I hope you'll do that whenever you're out of town also.
I like the new variety with communion bread and drinks. What will communion look like when we're all back together again?
Oh, Aaron, what a great question. This whole communion thing has been kind of fun, especially the being able to read and listen to what people are using for communion in their homes, since they don't have it provided for them like we normally do on a Sunday morning here at North Point. I hate to be kind of crass here, but I need to say it the way that it really is. I don't think that going back to letting people put their grimy little hands into a community plate full of bread or a tray full of plastic cups, I don't think we're going back to that. Not anytime soon, really not ever. Fact is, we probably shouldn't ever have been doing that all along. But that's another discussion for another time. Now, one option we'll have is those little pre-packaged juice and wafer bundles that you can get at the Christian bookstore or online. Maybe. They seem kind of sterile to me. I don't know. That could just be me. Another option is to bring your own. We'll probably have to talk about that. But if people start to bring ice chests into the auditorium, or leaving the service a little early to fire up their grills out in the parking lot during my sermon, we'll probably have to rethink that option. But you can count on this. No matter what, we will still be a body of Christians who take the Lord's Supper together on Sundays. And honestly, I can't wait to see how this one works out.
When we begin meeting in person again, how will we keep our kids safe?
I think this issue is by far the biggest deal that we are facing as a church family. There is no way we are going to put children or families at risk, any kind of risk, just so we can meet together. In order to do this, we are going to have more volunteers than we have ever had in the past for setup, for cleaning, for disinfecting before and after every use, to have proper protection and social distancing among children, as well as all of our regular teaching and supervision that we go through every Sunday. Honestly, it is going to be a huge job and something that we are taking very, very seriously. Now, we are fortunate. We are so fortunate to have Angela as our children's pastor and Simon as our youth pastor, overseeing all of children's and youth ministries. You can be confident that your kids are in the best of hands and getting the best of care. And so that whenever we reopen, whenever that time is, you can know with all confidence that your kids are being taken care of very well and are in good hands.
Hey Greg, I heard our North Point band's moving to Nashville to try to get famous.
You think when they go on tour, they'll give all the North Point tickets?
They better.
I agree.
I wonder if Greg has some information that some of the rest of us are not privileged to have right now. All I can say is that now that our band has gone viral, our little secret here at North Point is definitely out of the bag. I wonder if there's room on a tour bus for a band chaplain. Yeah, moving on.
I've really enjoyed watching the live stream videos from my recliner. Do you think we could get more comfortable furniture in the auditorium?
Truth be told, I'm actually pretty much okay with a BYOR. That's a bring your own recliner movement. Even though our seats are more than comfortable enough to put even the best of you to sleep during my sermon, because clearly it is not my sermon that is putting you to sleep. We care about your comfort. I mean, we really do. Jesus, on the other hand, that's another issue.
Will we still get to do hugs and handshakes when we get back together on Sundays?
Hey, this is a big one. It's quite possible that hugs and handshakes may end up being a cultural casualty of the Corona era. And as sad as it might be, we may have to come up with something new, a new plan for greeting each other on Sundays or whenever we see each other. And we may have to work at it a little bit. It may take some adjusting. In the meantime, though, I've been doing some thinking about this. You see, the fist bump, or even the elbow bump, it might end up being socially allowed, and so we may end up embracing that one. Chest bumps, on the other hand, probably should never be allowed in church, so we'll probably put the quash on those. It's probably a good thing, just saying. Hand signals may be the wave of the future. One of my favorites, going all the way back to my youth, has been the rock on. Growing up where I did, anybody could do that, and you'd kind of know what it meant. But it really ended up in the church, especially, getting some bad press because there were some who associated that with the sign of Satan, and so probably couldn't do that. And then when I moved here to Texas, I realized that was the hook 'em horns sign for the University of Texas, and unfortunately, we are an entirely bipartisan church, and so we probably ought to steer clear from favoring one college over another. So one that I've really been thinking about is one that comes a little bit from my culture of Southern California on the beach, and it comes from Hawaii. And it's this one right here. You kind of take your hands and do this and shake your hand a little bit, and it's called shaka. Shaka. And in Hawaiian, what that means, it's just a symbol of friendship. When you see somebody else, you do that, and you just know you're with a friend. It is also a statement of solidarity, like we are in this together. And then finally, one of the best parts about it is that when you show that anywhere, it's just a way of saying it's all good. It's all good. So we'll have to see how this one shakes out.
Will I be able to keep wearing my pajamas on Sunday morning when we come back to the building?
Thank you, Lester. Your image is now burned permanently into my subconscious. Look, if this is all it takes to get you all back in the building on a Sunday morning, you can all wear onesies as far as I'm concerned. We've already got a patent on Pajama Day for the Sunday closest to Christmas. We do that every year. Maybe we could just go ahead and become the Church of the Pajamas. That's a thought. Well, I hope that answers some of your burning questions about reopening. So hang in there. We'll get back to being ourselves again soon. That day will be here before you know it. Until then, it's all good.